Good evening, Norma Cowie here with mental mind treatments. Had to think for a moment. It was like rearranging everything in here. I forgot to put the extra lights on, so until I see myself on camera, and I'm a little bit gray, but that's because I just forgot to put the lights on. But that's life. And sometimes in life, you just have to accept what's happening, what's going on, or what's taking place. I want to welcome you for those of you that are already on, which Marion and Karen for sure. And no, Karen B, I should say. And I looked in the insight box and thought, well, what do we have for this morning? Oh, sorry, afternoon. I'm a little tired today. I've been transmitting my books from paper into my computer. Tiny little print. So forgive me if I mess my words up. I picked up an insight card tonight. I find them quite interesting. There's quite a lot of them in this little box. It says, I am not always, well, that's the other thing I have is a cough. I'm not always what I think I am, but what I think I am. Think about that. I think it's very true, actually. On the other side, it says, what's your vision? Imagination is a preview of life's coming attractions. I would agree with that because it's in the imagination. Hello, what has happened here? I must have hit something on my computer. Just hang on a second, I'll be back. There I am. Well, it's obviously a night of distractions and disturbances. I went to put something back over here and the Kleenex box it was and hit the computer keyboard. And way gone. Oh, well, I think that's a lot like life sometimes. Things happen and it's like we've got to readjust ourselves as to how we are. So I've got to keep my hands away from anything unless I have to, because that's what's happening. Too many things here. Okay, I had a friend, Kayla, call tonight. So we might as well start with what we're doing here. Basically, we're wanting a treatment to keep on relaxing and getting healthier. So I did get numbers for her, 17, 20, and 6. And the 17 and 20 both have a lot to do with balance. And 6 is sometimes getting confused because, when we have things that we have to do, it sometimes takes a little bit of a difference of how to do them. So if you will join me on the treatment, I know there is one power, and I know the essence of that power when we speak our words with sincerity and awareness and trust that it has a huge effect on who we are. So I speak my word for Kayla. And as I speak my word for Kayla, I know that the internal peacefulness, which is creating healing, creating peace, creating awareness of strength and purpose, and that all is brought together with ease, with love, with understanding. And any confusion there may be is that she can breathe through that with ease and grace as she gets healthier, stronger, and aware of what and how she can do things to be supportive of her growing healthier and happier. I give thanks in the knowing of this as we release this thought, knowing it is true for Kayla, that she is on to new vibration of health, healing, and happiness. So Karen B also put something in for her friend Natalie. She had surgery, and obviously came through that all right. I remember that. And but now she has another surgery tomorrow, which that would be Tuesday again, to put in a pacemaker. It's interesting. I got when I looked at 3 numbers for her, so I knew kind of where I needed to go with that. Again, I got 17, and then I got 3, and I got 7. That tells me that this surgery is about rebalancing for her. and that the love vibration is there, and she'll be able to let go of the past as she moves forward in strength and in healing. The pacemaker will make a difference. I really feel quite comfortable about that. I feel that it'll be easy, and then it's like a new life actually on. That's what that 7 is representing. The past is behind. She just has to move through the surgery, a little bit of getting used to it, and then she'll be, it's almost like brand new in lots of ways. So let's do a treatment on that. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know as I speak my word for Natalie, that peace, strength, forbearance, interesting word, is there for her. As this transition occurs around her heart, by having support that is necessary, it means that her life will have a different perspective. I also feel there'll be a different support in her life as well. It's like the pacemaker is a very symbolic of support in many different areas and awarenesses. I see strength, I see growth, I see progress for Natalie. I see a sense of well being. It's almost like a huge breath, and a whole lot of stress is left the shoulders. So, as like moving into a new day and a new awareness and a new wherewithal. And so I give thanks for that. I give thanks in the knowingness that that will be and will work and will come into the awareness of where she wants to be. And so as we move forward, there will be an essence of growth and perspective. Just want to move this down a little bit so I can see who's there. Anyway, I give thanks, and that's the main thing. Okay, I was thinking, oh my goodness, there's nothing else here, but here it is. Kayla says, blessings, love, and joy to all. Karen Lee, okay, Karen Lee, hi. I would love a treatment for whatever shows up. I always love it when we do this. Karen Lee. I've got to find you again. There you are. 12, 15, and 22. I have to blow my nose. I do have this little cold that's kind of between my nose and my throat, and I excuse myself, but nothing's like having a drippy nose. I thought I worked very hard to have everything cleared before I went on air, but the nose decides to drip anyway. Yeah, I've had a little bit of a not real cold. I actually took some cough medicine today because it just wouldn't seem, my chest wouldn't clear. So, okay, hang on, we go. So currently, 12 is acceptance of what is, but 15 is the emotional element, and 22 is the having the faith. So what happens when we have a situation that we don't particularly like? What we do is we get upset by it rather than trusting the universe, trusting our faith, trusting the awareness of where we're heading and where we're going. So on that note, we will do the treatment and see what comes up for that. I'm just going to have a sip of water here. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know as I speak my word for Karen Lee, that the strength to accept what is that cannot be changed, and therefore also the letting go of the reaction to the frustration that it cannot be changed, puts me into the path of faith, trust, and perseverance. I also know that within the transition of that as one moves forward, which is yourself, Karen Lee, there is grace, there is ease, there is a perspective of awareness, and almost like a bearing up. It's like a support system of faith. Through the acceptance comes the faith. Through the acceptance and not worrying or getting upset about what hasn't worked out, has the faith that things will work out. I give thanks in knowing of the transition time that you're involved in. I give thanks in knowing that strength, perseverance is there as emotion leaves. And for this, I truly am grateful as I send it this thought on its way by saying, and so it is. Amen. Keisha, Okay, let's see. I'll just do a little cough here too, just to clear this part here. Excuse me. It's right in that throat. I hate that. I'm sure everybody has empathy there. So Kashila says, good evening, 345. Okay. Treatment for healing of my left hip. And I have finally started seeing some improvement this week. Yes. Sometimes it takes a wee while to kind of change, to get the perspective the way we want it or to bring it about. So, good for you. Good for you. Okay, let's have a look at these numbers 3, 4, and 5. 3 is knowing about the love force, trusting the love force, being with the love force. And the 4 is our rigidity or our stubbornness. So what are we hanging on to? What are we hanging on to? What is it we don't really want to let go? And sometimes that's a fear that if we don't have this, okay, I'll grab my empty, pretty well empty glass here. If I don't have this glass, then something's not going to be right. So sometimes we have to figure out what that exactly is that we're holding on to here. In a way, what are we being stubborn about? And because the need of more and new information, which you show up usually not pretty regularly on a week, but on a Monday night. And so the beginning of understanding, the beginning of awareness. So we've got to watch what we hold on to in our thinking and or emotion, because the emotion is there still, but the thinking often pulls the emotion up. But that's where we need to have more understanding, more learning, more awareness. Growth doesn't happen usually like overnight. It's a process of going up. It's like climbing a lot of stairs to get where you want. Like you come to a new level of understanding, then you realize, oh, there's one more. Oh, there's one more. But it's worth walking the steps until you're at the point where they're on a big plateau. And from there you can enjoy. And a lot of this is that it shows me with the number 3 that there is elements of the life here that are pleasant, pleasurable, and loving, and joyously, therefore. So it's like moving that more, having more of that, having more of all that wonderful thing, Ashika. And then you'll find that as you move forward, and I'm sure you're doing the things that you need for your hip as well, like, whatever it is you need to put on that, then it begins to work the way you want it. And a lot of hip stuff is about moving forward in a new direction, moving forward into what you're wanting. And it's like a movement, however it is you want to go and do. I give now, as we move into treatment for that, I know there is a power of love in this universe. I also know that Ashika has access to that power of love. And it is the letting go of the stubbornness or the holding on or the wanting it to be this way and not that way that we're working to release and let go so the love can do its job on the hip, on the body, on the whole life, and in fact, so that the vibration of everything just moves in the direction that you want. I give thanks in knowing that Akasha is growing, that it is all working, and that everything is exactly where it needs to be. And I release this thought knowing it is true, and it is done by saying, and so it is. Amen. Maggie G, good evening to you too. Hang on, don't want to lose you there. Norma, blessings. Could I please have a treatment for patience? Yeah, I think that's what it is. Okay. For patience. For patience. Okay. See the first part of the word and make an assessment. Okay. 5, 7, and 17. For patience. Sorry, I just had to really think about that for a minute. I wanted to make sure I had the word right. It didn't look quite right in the spelling, and it was not page. Yeah, even though I may not be accurate in my spelling all the time, but well, so I'll tell you what these numbers mean anyway. 5 is that more knowledge is needed. 7 is letting go of what is known. And 17 is creating a new vibration of balance. So when we look at this, we have to basically let go of the past. We have to relook at the direction that we're going in, even if we don't know exactly where all that's going to end. But we need to trust the balance, the knowledge, the awareness that we have. So in knowing that, Maggie G, this is how the treat will work out. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know as I speak my word from Maggie G, that the letting go of the past reactions, the past awarenesses, even the past thoughts and feelings, and as we enter into a new, and I'm going to use the word brave here, a new brave world. In other words, it's new, it's different. There is only awaiting a sense of balance and being in command. And because you're in command of your life, you have balance and awareness and all the things that you need and want. I give thanks in knowing that the letting go and the willingness to move forward, the balance comes with great ease and great joy as everything opens up to you. And so I release this thought knowing that it is true for Maggie G. She's on her way. And bless you and thank you. Kayla says, thank you for the peaceful and caring thoughts. You're always welcome. Thank you. Karen Marcus. Karen. Okay, 4, 1, and 12. A little stubborn, are we? I know. I've been a little bit like that lately, so I understand. Holding on to whatever. Number 1, everything is possible. Number 12, acceptance of what is, and that is what is it we need to let go of. Now, I'm going to use this for a teaching moment, if that's okay. We get into habits. We get into habits of thinking, we get into habits of feeling, we get into habits of responding. And what begins to happen with that is that because it comes in habits, it begins to hold us back and down. We don't even know sometimes those habits exist because they've been working within us for a long time. And what this shows to me is that these habits that you have yourself as saying, we need new, we want new. We want a whole new awareness or growth, or is perspective is the proper word, I think, a new perspective. That's what I'm getting. And what it says, by accepting that, it will be easier to identify where we're stuck, to release what we've been hanging on to, and having a fresh, because number 1 does that. It's everything is possible. You've got all the tools. You've got the tools, but now is the time to let go the old that you're still holding on to. And the only way you're going to become aware of that is because you're going to watch your thoughts very, very carefully. You're going to watch your feelings as well, but usually thoughts are easier. And as you watch those thoughts, as they come up, what will happen is you'll begin to see, oh, yeah, that's holding me. That's not what I want right now. No, because you're moving into newness and you've got it all in your hand. You just have to accept that it is there. So treatment. I know there's one power and the one essence, and I know that power is with Karen. And I also know that it's saying it is time to let go the old that has become habits. the old, which maybe is a little critical or a little bit aware of what may or should be, with the word shoulds and got tos and ought to and all that stuff there. But the beautifulness of this is the willingness to recognize everything is possible for you, that you have all the tools that you require. Anything that you want is there for you. And it's about acceptance. It's about accepting that, yes, it is. I know. It's almost like wanting to say, I know, blah, 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 whatever it is you're wanting or you're choosing to move into. It's about choice in a way, not as clearly as it may show it, but it really is, because, and I'm smiling because I was sitting thinking of doing a little blurb on the Magician, or the Ace of Wands, which is sort of similar. But it's like what I feel here is that you've got it all. It's because of the way the numbers you gave me, it says, you know exactly what you want, you know how to do it, you know how to bring it, but it just means you have to let go that past, those past old thoughts that have been there and done their thing and been around. And you say a big breath and just accept, okay, it's time. It's time for new. It's time to bring new. It's time to be aware and new in all things. I give thanks in the knowing of this. I give thanks for you, and know that as you move forward, it will be great and wonderful. And so we say, and so it is. Amen. Oh boy, that felt good. Yvonne, good evening. Feeling the need of a refreshed physically. Yeah, well, the weather's moving nicely, isn't it? It's getting a little warmer. Okay, hang on, just there we go. 4, 19, and 20. Another 4. It's interesting. Maybe the time of letting, as we're moving into spring, as we're moving into spring, and it's getting long, evenings are getting longer up here and everything else. So it's like the old clings on. So what we're wanting really is refresh. What I really like here, Yvonne, is the last 2 numbers. 19, which is the sun, total rebirth, and 20 is the acceptance of all the power that is there. Very much what I said to Karen is the same thing I will more than likely say here, because it's very similar. And it's very similar in because 19 is a 1 as well. It's just the sun rather than the Magician. What I see here is that I want to go back 15, 16 years. And in going back 15 or 16 years, whatever occurred in that time that had a tremendously, I think, more of an emotional impact rather than a physical one, but it could be both or either or. And I feel that the key is to put that to rest, whether through self-forgiveness, releasing and letting go. But that incident, that awareness needs to go to bed and go away, basically, because you're ready to move into a new vibration. That's your 19. You are ready to be like the sun. You're ready to move forward and accept the glory. I'm going to get very religious in a moment here by saying, by releasing that old, and it is old, it was a long time ago, you accept everything that's there, that's like represents the sun, as you move into glory of the God, of the Godhead, of the whatever you see as being that great power. It's just there waiting for you. It says you are ready to embrace that. And so your physicality, to refresh it, is letting go of that old wound, whatever that was all those years ago. As I said, it could be emotional, spiritual, physical, maybe all of them, but it needs to be put to bed. needs to be said bye-bye. That was back then. This is today and forward. I give thanks. Did I do it? No, I explained it. I haven't done the treatment. Sorry, sometimes do that. I know there is one power, and therefore I know this power is supportive of Yvonne in the movement and transition into a new awareness and a new perspective of herself in relation to life. It is joyous, it is moving, it is wonderful, and it's just waiting for you. But we have to put the old thing to bed first and let it go forever and ever, because it's done. It's did its job and it's been hanging around, and it's time to put it to bed and say bye-bye. However you want to do that, by releasing any which way you know how to do it or want to do it, or you can always have me do it. But that's what you need to be doing. Blessings to you, and I wish you well as you move on ahead. And so it is. Amen. God bless you, my. Okay, Karen Lee says thank you. Karen B says thank you so much from the tail. I think she's gonna find that's gonna work really, really well for her. The key will be for her to accept it and make it a part of her and not sort of the enemy. You know, some people, when something is put inside you, it's like, it's not me. Everything has vibration in it. Everything is there. So just make it a part of her. Welcome it into her body, and it will be great. I forgot to say that before, so you can add that in there. Hello, Mr. Math07. Good evening, Norma. I made it. Yes, you did. You just a general. Hang on, I got to put you in the book. Math07, general healing. And we've got numbers 6, 12, and 18. Okay, let's just talk about those three numbers for a moment. Two of them are emotional. Number 6 is like our inner, we get fearful, we get concerned, and we hope and we pray or whatever, but we don't really do essence about it. 12 talks about accepting things as they are. When we come to full acceptance, it's really like accepting everything. But your 18 says you're attached to the fear. Okay, I'm gonna back it off a bit, because what happens is that we get so used to being a certain way that we get scared of having it be any different. Even though it says accept, we've got 6 on one side and 18 on the other saying, but I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know how I'm going to feel. I don't know how I'm going to handle that. So what am I going to do? The thing is, you've got to do what the 12 says. Accept yourself for yourself. Accept the feelings for yourself. Release the fear and the anxiety, because it has no real purpose. Accept what you give it. When you give it power, then of course it feels powerful. But the fact is, it has no power really except what you give it. So if you want a general healing, a lot of this is letting go of the old way that you've had of allowing your own fear of yourself get in the way. So on that note, as I do move into treatment, knowing there is one power and one essence there is available for each and every person, I know that you are able to accept your worth, accept you're loved, accept you have great possibility. I also know that there's a great fear of that. And that is what needs to be released and let go, so that you move into a new world of expression, explanation, awareness. And I'm smiling because it's like a sense of self that's joyous. Oh, to be joyous. Oh, to feel good. Oh, to not worry or feel all my mess and all this other emotional stuff that confuses the brain. It's really about understanding your power and the essence of who you are. It's all about understanding the greatness. So let's see what treatment brings through. Knowing that there is a power and knowing that Maths '07 is definitely connected to that power. And even though you might be afraid of it and not really trust it because it doesn't make sense, like it's not A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it's about being. And when we come to a place of accepting our beingness, we accept those parts of us that are not 100%, but we know we love them for what they are because they show us, they represent to us aspects of where we're real. And we let go and we release the fears of not being real because we become real in a different way. And that beautiful love source, whatever you want to call that, goes into your heart. And when it goes into your heart, it lightens the world. And it brings forth a great deal of essence of being. I know that there's a choice here, as I'm sure you know. And I trust that the choice here, the acceptance, is that you're powerful, that you want to be whole, that you want to let go your fears, whether they're imaginary or real, because they're all imaginary, but sometimes we think they're real. So we have to accept that. So we release all that, and that will take away your confusion. Look at your fears. Look at them squarely and realize they have no power except what you give them. And that'll take away the confusion and the uncertainty and bring forward the love of you in life, experiencing it in the moment, fully and joyous. I give thanks in knowing this, and I give thanks in being able to release this, knowing that it's available to you if you choose it. And so it is. Maggie G says, thank you so much. Not a great speller sometimes. Have been traveling to have, I've been traveling, so happy to be back and have your wonderful words of wisdom. Thank you. Well, it just took me a little while to figure out the word, but I kind of put it together. I trust that was good. And it's good to have you back. We missed your Maggie G being there. And we've continued on through thick or thin. And I wish you well and trust we see you again and often. And so I send lots of love. And so it is. Karen Merker says, I never thought of having habitual feelings or emotions. Karen, you made me laugh. We do. We have habits of behavior that we use, and same things make us laugh, or some things make us fear, or whatever. But anyway, that's what came up for you, my dear. So I sure would like to hear what you find out, because that's kind of interesting. Yvonne says, thank you very much, Norma. Math 7 says, this is so accurate. Thank you so much. Well, you can thank me as you do the work. That's what's the main thing. And I wish you well. And you have my support, my love, my essence to aid you on the way. Janine, hello, Norma. I like the exclamation marks. 8, 12, and 22. I guess you just want me to put that together. I'm going to have to drink another little sip of water here. You notice the coughing kind of stopped, which is don't want to bring it back. So that's really helpful. You know, number 8 is really about bringing the power from above and putting it into the world. And I always look at how I write the eights because print the eights out because I print them out very differently for different people. I just did, yeah. I was looking, it didn't really. Anyway, we're staying with you. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. How I drew this is a lot of largeness on the top side and very tiny on the small side, on the underneath side, which tells me you've got great deal of awareness and knowingness in your mind, but it isn't always transmitted into the material. So there, what we have with the 12 is about acceptance of how things are, but the 22 says you have faith. I think this is how do we do things in a practical way through behavior and experience. And when we, even though we accept and know there is a great power, and we have faith and movement in representing it out, but are we really manifesting it materially? This is the thing that is, to me, is looking at this, is that we can have all the philosophy in the world. We can have the connection to the God source or in the world. It's there. But if we cannot transmit it into the daily life, if we cannot see it move, explore, and do its thing, then it means something isn't really there. And I think this is what this is talking about here, Jeannie. I think what I would, yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at that. And we'll do a treatment and we'll see what else comes up. It might be your name is Janine. Sorry. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Sorry if I said Jenny instead of Janine. You know, reminded me of somebody I know. Okay, knowing there is one power and one essence, I speak my word for Janine. I know that there is understanding, love, awareness, and acceptance. There is a great power here. But I also know that in the physicality of life, that doesn't always transform, go outward anyway. Sorry. Wrong. Well, maybe I got to trust the words, but that's what it said, transmute into the world. Maybe that's it, transmuted into the world. I also know that through acceptance of the force and having faith in the force, as we look at life, we apply to the different aspects of our world. And in the applying of that beautiful force into the world, things change. They may only change a little bit. It may change just a little bit. But at the same point and at the same time, by accepting that you'll be able to let go those pieces that are holding you back or creating that tension that I sense inside. So I give thanks in knowing that you have the power, you have the knowledge, you have the strength to be able to shift and change those things that tighten you up and hold you back. Life is going to be opening and allowing you to move in the direction that you want to. I give thanks in the knowing this for Janine, and I release this by saying, and so it is. Amen. Debbie, hi, long time. So glad to catch you in your magic moments. Smiles, yeah. 6/22/13. Oh my goodness, gal. Been a long time. So good. Okay. Okay, hang on a second. 6/22/13. All right. Might be a sign of the world. We're having several with a similar type of message. 6 is usually a little bit of confusion of uncertainty, and sometimes can have another person involved on that as well. But 22 is faith and movement ahead, awareness, knowledge, in command, in truth. And 13 is going ahead in the direction of your of the work, of love, of life, and the direction. It's the six in the beginning here, which gets confusing things. That's why I like having the numbers, because it puts things in so much clarity for me. So in the treatment that goes, I know there is one power and one essence, and I know that Debbie has great connection with us, but I also know that there are emotions that scramble the concept, scramble the ideas. It's like it distorts it, and it has to do with others and their perceptions and their, shall we say, wants and desires. So there's a little bit of distortion there, but it also says that the knowingness of having faith and knowledge and awareness of direction of where you're going and what you're doing is that you can move forward and you can break open into the direction that you want to go by letting go the dissension or the uncertainty, especially by others. Trust yourself and do that which needs to be done in order to move in the direction that you choose to move into and go into. I release this thought knowing it is true for Debbie. Movement forward in faith, love, and process brings it all together. Blessings. Bye. Well, not really bye, but you know what I mean. And so it is, I should say. Masso 7 says, are you the same Debbie Norma had a long talk with? Yes, I say yes. I have yet to watch that video. And Debbie says yes, but I believe that video is now private and listener. Oh no, I have it. It's in my list. I never took it down. I hope it's all right. I've never taken it down. Everything I've put out for the last few years is up there somewhere. So Debbie says hi. Debbie says, too long, dear friend. Yes, confusing, scrambled emotions. Thank you. Trust me. This is landing. Hugs. Great. Give me a call. Same phone number. And let's at least talk on the phone. Okay. And we're going to figure out from there. It has been too long. We might need to do another talk. We haven't done that for a while. Wow. Okay. Look at that. We managed to pretty well go 45 minutes today, and that with me coughing and sniffing away in the beginning like anything. So I'm doing good. Interesting pattern tonight. Sometimes evenings have patterns. And just remember that we're all part of the grand design. And as long as we trust where we're going and what we're doing and dealing with our feelings and keeping our head on straight, then we're moving really, really well. Just as I think I've mentioned everything for everybody, but I do want to say that I am going to be doing a past life regression workshop in a couple of Saturdays. I think it's Saturdays. Yeah, 2 weeks from this coming Saturday, I think. Anyways, it'll be on my website, and then the winter newsletter. I'll be putting out a new newsletter pretty quickly with a couple more things in it. And please, you can always find me on my website. The phone number's there. The email is there directly, so you can always get hold of me. Other than that, I really want to thank you for showing up on Monday nights. I really, really do. I always feel inspired, and I always feel great after and that's wonderful. And then, of course, this Wednesday, I'm talking about past life regression for sure. And if you haven't caught the Sunday thought from last Sunday, you might want to. I had to smile when it came out the way it did. So anyway, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for your support. Thanks very much for your love. Thanks very much for keep showing up. I sincerely appreciate it. Everybody, night for now, and see you. Debbie says, woohoo, I shall call. Yes. Yeah, I'm here. I'm not moving much around too much these days. See you. Night now. Bye.